Welcome to We're Not Really Here. My name is Kel Spellman, full-time at the Etihad, and it finished Manchester City 1, Arsenal 0. So unfortunately, no predictions right here in the studio, but nevertheless, a big City win here to get into the game is Mr. Kyle Walker, Shaun Gota, and Shaun Wright-Phillips.
I don't care about the predictions. we got the 3 points. That's all that I care about. And Shaun, I've got to say, very mature performance from Manchester City. We don't often see a 1-0 victory, but they proved right there that they came to they mean business. Basically, they've got that 1 goal in the 23rd minute, and they managed to hold off Arsenal's attack throughout the rest of the game.
Yeah, City we needed that win today. Again, it was a solid performance. Not the best game in terms of loads of creative chances, but the team again, Pep will be very pleased because he's been able to, in a very difficult game, they know that Arsenal will go and take points away from other teams. So. Very pleased to get away with this one in terms of get a win and not play at our best.
What was the thing that impressed you the most about that game, Shaun? Because I think it's one that we're not quite used to as City fans. I think the last time we won 1-0, I believe, in the Premier League was the Vincent Kompany against Leicester. So it's not something we're used to seeing, but what was it that impressed you the most?
I think it was the back four, to be honest with you. Without a big figure like Laporte missing, Walker slotted in, like his concentration level, him and Diaz was perfect. They dropped at the right times and they went up for headers at the right times also. And the fullbacks played really, really well today. So to see them keep a clean sheet against a team like Arsenal that had quite a bit of time and spells in the games where they could have created chances was amazing to see.
I did say it was a mature performance. We see Nathan Ake, he went to left back. Walker and Diaz kind of played this centre back partnership. Joao Cancelo as well featured in that defence. It feels like they were new positions for them, but they just did their jobs and they did them really well, Shaun.
Yeah, it was like you said, mature performances. You saw like a lot of experienced heads from some very young players. Like I think Ruben Diaz, I think he's like 23. Ake's still young. Cancelo's quite young as well. So to see that maturity from them at such a young age lets us know what we're looking forward to in the future.
I mean, what I liked about today, Cancelo in particular, he was playing. Not right back, because Walker was playing centre back, but at times he drifted out to a right back position, Walker there was. But Cancelo ended up being in sort of that pocket where we normally see Bernardo or De Bruyne. And so we're thinking, where is he actually playing? And so that ability to interchange and play, in these different positions and make the right decisions and be a part of the back four in terms of keeping playing well enough to keep the clean sheet. Brilliant.
They're so well drilled, aren't they? Because they must have worked on this in training, but to come out here and do it against Arsenal, it seemed like they just had Arsenal's number a little bit because Arsenal were trying to get in with Aubameyang and they even brought Lacazette into it, Thomas Partey, the new signing as well. But whatever they were trying, they just couldn't break that defence.
Yeah, I mean, Pep's had a great think about it. And Aubameyang, when we think about it, a good game, but not his game. So that speaks to how well City's played, really. Because Aubameyang normally leaves his mark on the game, and you think, he's running behind, cause defence is trouble, but you can't think too often when he's done that today. So that's well done to City defence.
I know what we touched upon it before the game started, and we have done over the few weeks that it still feels like we're getting to our highest form when it comes to energy levels. A very short pre-season, thrust back into it after a very congested fixture period at the end of last season. But going off that and the running that we had, like, kind of saw on show, I feel like the energy levels are starting to kind of reach where we want them to, although not quite there yet, Shaun. And it made a big difference, I think.
Yeah, you saw towards the end of the game that we're not at the same match fitness level as Arsenal, but we showed we got the resilience and it helped us out a lot. And I think with the games coming quick and fast, I think it won't be too long till we're at the pinnacle of our fitness where we see City how we want to see them, sharp and hungry for chances throughout the 90 minutes.
Now, one man we have to point out, his work rate is Bernardo Silva. I feel like at times you'll be talking about Sergio Aguero, talking about Raheem Sterling, Phil Foden. It's kind of some of the other players that we don't talk about as much, but that work rate doesn't go unnoticed.
Yeah, Bernardo Silva, I don't know where he finds the energy, but he just keeps going. And Righty was talking, we were talking off air, and Righty was saying he runs the same pace the whole game. And it's like a sprint. It's literally like a sprint. And he just puts hard work in. And I'm pleased for him that he's getting minutes, but you're right to mention it. He does all this hard work and contributes to the team performance.
I mean, as one of my favourite players, I'm absolutely buzzing to see him back in the team, and given the performance that we all know he has in the locker, fantastic. And one man who gave another stellar performance was Mr. Raheem Sterling. He was crowned the man of the match here in the stadium, and we can hear what he had to say at full time.
It might only be the fourth game of the season for Manchester City, but given the start you had, does that feel like an important win?
Yeah, for sure. We've dropped a couple of points this early on in the season, and coming out of the international break, we needed 3 points to kickstart our season, and that's a vital win there because they're a tough side.
Will that give you back a bit of confidence and belief as well?
Yeah, I wouldn't say confidence was gone, but of course with the results that's not gone our way. It's disappointed, and yeah, today will definitely give us a leap of confidence to go into the next couple of games and try to get the 3 points again.
You've got good reason to have confidence against Arsenal. That's 4 in 6 against them. What is it about you and scoring against them?
I don't know. It's one of the lucky games that I probably have then to get on the score sheet, and I'm just grateful to be able to help the team out today.
How much fluidity is there in the way that you set up, in particular, say, your position and the positions you were taking up in the game?
Yeah, I thought at times in the first half me and Sergio got on the ball in the pockets really well. And of course, when Arsenal realised that, they closed it up a bit and it was a bit more difficult. But there was some great positions at times.
Was it being in one of those pockets that put you in the right place at the right time for the goal?
Yes, one of them positions where, being centre of the pitch, I like to be in the box, and it's perfect. I was there at the right time to put it away.
Did you feel Arsenal came into the game, particularly in the second part of the first half, rather?
Yeah, they came into it, as I said to you, they're a difficult team. Once they kind of sussed out what we were doing, they closed the pitch really well. They got into their own, and you can see they had some good chances as well.
Any frustration that you didn't kill the game off in the second half, or do you have to respect the form that they are in right now? You said they are a good team, as you said.
Yeah, in the first half, we had a couple of chances as well. Phil's 1-on-1. That makes it 2-0 going into the half time. But yeah, as I said to you, they're a tough team, and we knew that it would be a grind today because Mikel's got them really well drilled.
How good to have Sergio Aguero back?
Yeah, you can just feel the fluid, how fluent we are in our possession, and to have an out-and-out striker there to link up with was really good again.
Well done.
Thank you.
Man of the match, Raheem Sterling, giving his thoughts at full time in our 1-0 win against Arsenal. And like you say, actually, I think we've got to give respect to the City players that we were able to come out and keep that 1-0. And when other times we might have been talking about a 1-1 draw or maybe another result that we wouldn't have wanted. But we got the result we wanted. Raheem Sterling, Shaun, we were talking about during the game, he wasn't quite playing the centre-forward role of Aguero, but was still playing down the middle. And for me, that's that's the most effective I've seen him throughout a whole game since the start of the season. I don't know what it was about the position or what worked today for him that made him so effective.
I think it's like we all said at the beginning. I think the fact that Aguero was on the pitch or an out-and-out striker's there, the defenders now have to not just think about Raheem Sterling. They got to think about if they double up on Raz, then Aguero's 1-on-1, so they can't afford to double up back there, and now they're asking questions of their own midfielders to kind of drop back and help. So it's giving Raheem more time to find spaces and pop up in little gaps, whereas before he wouldn't have.
We talk so much about the fluidity of the defence, but the fluidity of that attack as well. We saw Phil Foden, Raheem Sterling, Sergio Aguero, Riyad Mahrez, and then Bernardo Silva. They all seem to interchange, and they all seem to take that middle spot and each have a go of themselves.
Yeah, this is what you get with City, interchanging. I mean, they just all understand. If I'm a wide player, I have to keep that width, but sometimes I end up in that pocket, in that 10 position, and therefore I'm going to be the shoulders turned so I can get that ball, get turned, and then be a creative player. They all sort of make these really great decisions, but they're all good to be on the swivel and say, how can I affect the game in this position? It's brilliant interchanging.
I mean, the man of the match given in the stadium was Raheem Sterling, but I feel between us, actually, it was such a great team performance that we've probably all got our own individual man of the match. I think it's always nice to talk about when players have all had a great game. I know, Shaun, you were actually looking at the other end of the pitch for where your man of the match fell.
Yeah, I think, like I said before, I think the defence, especially the two in the middle, were fantastic, and it could have gone either way for me, but for me, I would have given it to Ruben based on the fact he's only just come into the Premier League, and the consistency he showed playing at that level has been unbelievable for me for a new player to join the Premier League.
Another player that I thought was incredible and probably one of my man of the matches, there could have been multiple, was Kyle Walker. I feel like, Shaun, we've seen him again. He was at the forefront of that maturity. He's got 50 caps now for England. He's played there for 9 years. He's been at Manchester City for so long, and he seems to have found that consistency where week in, week out, he raises the bar and he keeps it there.
Yeah, I'm not saying just saying this because it's Kyle Walker, but he for me he had a mature game, and the reason I think is because at centre back he can't take those risks, and at right back he can take the risk, and not only that, when he's at right back, he normally, we were talking about this off air, he uses his pace to get him out of trouble, and he just thinks, well, no one could beat me. I dare you knock across me, and he more times than not he comes out winning. But at centre back, he just had a maturity about his game. He was like safe passes. I think it was one risky pass. I think I saw him make. He sort of gave odds as though he was going to pass it wide, but he drove it sort of a 30-yard pass.
That
which was brilliant.
Wasn't that him trying to play a through ball when we said to him he should stay in his lane?
Yeah, that was it. Yeah,
I hope he hears that.
stay in your lane.
I think it's just one of these performances, though, where he's really proving to people who will always say, well, he's a great attacking player, but he can't defend. Well, we've seen him there, 90 minutes defending, Shaun. He's got that defender's brain at the front of it.
That's why I wouldn't say he necessarily can't defend. I just think when he's on the right back, he's more forward thinking. Whereas when he played centre back today, all he thought about was, it seemed like, he's keeping a clean sheet. I think if he finds that balance at right back, I don't think he'll put a foot wrong very rarely.
Very exciting indeed. Final word from you, Shaun. Of course, we've got our Champions League campaign starting in the middle of next week, and the games are really going to start coming thick and fast. So what do we need to be doing from here on out now, do you think, and looking for as these games come in?
We're done brilliant today. We've got to win, and I think it's about re-energizing. Going into that game, we want to be starting well. So if we can come away with that game with a good 2-0 win, that would be really good and comfortable to move on to the next.
Oh, getting a prediction. Getting in a prediction already before I've even asked for it.
Why not?
You couldn't be happy with 1-0.
Yeah. 3 points, as long as we get 3 points.
That's how we do it.
Yeah.
Gentlemen, it's been an absolute pleasure as always. Thank you very much to our special guest, Shaun Wright-Phillips, and to Shaun Gota. Kyle, absolute pleasure as well. Thank you, sir. And thank you to you guys at home. So remember, you can watch that full game in its entirety. It gets put on City Plus from midnight, and while you're there, there's a whole host of brilliant stuff you can get stuck into, and we will be back to kick off our Champions League game on Wednesday night, so we look forward to seeing you there, and enjoy the rest of your weekend. Come on, City.